Welcome back to The Reset. I am your host, Sean Tucker. This is episode number 36, and today I'm going to be shamelessly selling you something that you might need. All right, so as you might know, I help dads become the best dad that they possibly can be. This means that they run a business that they love to work in, that earns them the money and gives them the capability financially to secure the household and the family. It means that they have a body that they can build strong and be able to do many things they never thought they were capable of before, such as going for marathon runs if they shall choose, being able to condition themselves to do calisthenic skills and handstands and all kinds of cool stuff like that, or even being able to do a somersault. The third thing I help these dads do is I help them become ridiculously present. And what I mean by that is they are in tune with what's happening in their environment. They know the needs of the people that are around them without them even having to be told what's happening. That's what I'll be working on today and showing you exactly what that means. Because I've got a workshop coming up. This is happening on April 15th, and it's a 45-minute workshop. And we're looking at the very first or the second outcome that I mentioned. And that is so that you can start building a body that functions for you, a body that looks athletic, that looks like you actually lift. And that's exactly what the workshop is called. It's how you can look like you actually lift because you've spent years, let alone months, working on your body to get it to the point where it is right now. But you're noticing, and you've known for a very long time, that the material changes, the physical changes you see in the mirror, they haven't really changed all that much since you started. And there are many reasons why this is the case. But straight up, it's not about your nutrition. It's not about how hard you're training in the gym. These factors do affect how you look in the mirror, don't get me wrong. But the reason why you're not seeing results isn't because of nutrition. It isn't because of your training. It is because of how much pressure you take on, how much stress you have under the hood. If we looked at a car that on the outside looks pretty clean, pretty nice, it even sounds nice, but for whatever reason, when you're driving it, it's just not running as well as it used to. And you don't even notice these things, right? Because you're so busy going from A to B all the time. And if you've got quite a few kids who are younger than just 2 or 3 up into kinder and primary school and high school, well, you know how life gets very busy very quickly. You're running on everyone else's schedule. And it's hard to keep up. So that time that you have in the gym, that time you have to really take care of yourself, it's really thinned out. And so what ends up happening, and we'll go into great depth in the workshop with what I'm about to show you today. What ends up happening is all of those buckets that we have that are our little stress buckets. You take a little bit of stress here and it adds to your bucket. You take a little bit of stress from work and it's added to your bucket. You take a little bit of foods that you've been eating or, TikTok scrolling or Instagram scrolling at night, which has been negatively affecting your sleep and not getting well rested, feeling energized in the morning. These are all adding to the accumulative stress that's sitting beneath the hood. And so if we looked at the stress bucket, or if we looked at the car and we took it to a mechanic, you'd start to have the questions being asked of, did it always make that noise? Did your car always sound like that? Can you tell me what's going on? And if you're someone who's struggled with energy, wakes up sometimes in the middle of the night and can't get back to sleep, you wake up in the morning feeling groggy, or like you straight up need a coffee, or, you're hearing what everyone's saying, but you're not really listening. You're not really hearing what they're saying. You just know that there's words being said. And you start missing things. You start worrying and stressing about things that maybe you don't actually have control of right now. And you're someone who maybe notices that when you're in control, you might even notice the TV remote being just slightly off where it normally sits. And if you're the kind of person who needs to go up to that TV remote and straighten it so that it's sitting exactly where it needs to sit, that's coming from a place of needing to control everything. Which, once again, if we looked at the system as a whole, if we looked at the car and we see that the odometer is red lighting in idle, or if it's revving at 6,000 revs per minute, that to me is dangerous. That to me means anything could happen. Under immense pressure, because right here we're talking about the small amounts of pressure that build up and accumulate over time. If you keep adding to that bucket of stress, eventually it's going to overflow. Eventually it's going to pour out onto places that you don't want it to pour out. Eventually it's going to hurt the people you love. Eventually it's going to do damage to the career that you built. And it's not because you can't handle it. It's because you don't have the tools to keep yourself in a very calm and regulated way. And what I mean by regulated is restful. Oftentimes as men, as dads, we say, yeah, we can do that. And it just adds to the back of our stress. It adds to this pressure that we carry, this extra weight that we carry, and we take it on board because we're yes men. We do it for our families. What is that doing over time when we've got nowhere for it to go? So this workshop, if you want to look like you actually have been lifting, because you are probably someone who does go to the gym. And probably if you lost the gym, you'd lose yourself. So you made a decision years ago that you were going to continue sticking to the gym. But you probably found recently that the gym doesn't bring you the endorphins that it once used to. It's so routine and scheduled. You go to the gym, you do the same exercises. So is it really a wonder that you're not changing? You're not noticing the changes in your body. So in April, this workshop is going to look at exactly how you can start noticing those changes without changing your training, without changing your nutrition. Those are the micro specs on the thing that actually makes a big difference. Learning how to be restful, learning how to access deep rest. This is what I'm going to be showing you how to access, showing you how to use in your daily life so that you can start actually noticing the results in your life. You can look in the mirror and finally be proud of who's looking back at you. because you've spent years in the gym and it's frustrating to see no results. I know because I've been there. I've been there many, many years just training and not seeing any results. Changing what I was doing, moving from Olympic weightlifting, from powerlifting to Olympic weightlifting to bodybuilding, and not really noticing any changes. And yes, you can force changes. You can go and do the bodybuilding diet. But most of those things are unsustainable. So what if you could find a way that was a natural ebb and flow effect from feeling at ease, feeling relaxed, loving, feeling energized, loving the process of actually getting back into the gym and enjoying the exercise again? What would that mean for you? What kind of ripple effect would that have on your family when you go home and you feel energized rather than just, I got in a workout, off to work I go? So I'm going to put the link in the show notes. If you resonate on today's episode and you're really sick and tired of seeing the same old results in the mirror, seeing no results as a result of still training hard, still trying to take care of yourself, you're doing the right thing, then this workshop is for you. I'll link the page on the bottom of this podcast episode, and I can't wait to see you inside the workshop. We only have spots for 12 dads in this workshop. And for the next 2 weeks, this workshop is only going to cost you $50 to be part of. It's a 45-minute workshop. So make sure you lock it in. Make sure you get in there. And I can't wait to serve you in that workshop. Thanks for tuning in.